Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. Make sure to check in the description below. You will find awesome links about everything I talk about today, including links to my social media where you can find out how to join the Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group, where you can find my patterns online so you can knit them for yourself, and how to support me on Patreon. Today I'm going to talk to you about a couple of different things. As you can see by the title, I'm going to talk about how you can take a class from me, a live class, online. It's something that has developed since, this whole everybody staying in their house thing has happened. We've had to improvise, but just as importantly, what I want to talk to you about is supporting your local yarn store during these times. Small businesses, because a lot of people are staying home and a lot of people are unable to or unwilling to go out and go to establishments. It's causing a lot of financial issues for a lot of small businesses and small business owners. And I hope I have made it clear over the years in my videos how important I think our local yarn stores are. I have done videos of visiting yarn stores. I try my very best to make it clear that I feel that local yarn stores are the backbone, the heart and soul of the knitting community. It's where you can go and squish yarn. It's where you can meet other people who love knitting and fiber and weaving and all of the things that we enjoy so much. And while we've done everything we can to connect via the internet, and I love making these YouTube videos, and I love connecting with people that I otherwise would have never met or connected with, having that place to do it in person is very important. I'd also like to mention that it is Florida where I am, and it is the afternoon, so we are having our afternoon rain shower. You might hear some thunder and you might hear some rain, because depending on how exciting this storm gets. It's also why my hair is a little bit of a hot mess. It's like, storm, let's curl. But sidetrack. I work for, and I believe I've mentioned this, you might not have seen it in my videos, I work for a local yarn store here in Sarasota, and it's called A Good Yarn Sarasota. It is a wonderful yarn store full of amazing stuff, and I feel lucky to be able to work there part-time. The owner, Susan, is super fun. All the people I work with are knowledgeable. We all have our own little areas of expertise. We have Laura, who is absolutely amazing at all things weaving. Lisa is amazing and the kindest human being you will meet, and she has got stuff down when I don't get it. We kind of complement each other. Even Catherine, who is an indie dyer and designer of gorgeous garments. These local yarn stores provide a place for like-minded individuals to come together, and I want there to be local yarn stores when we come through the other end of this thing. I want them to still be there. And for my part, one of the ways that I am trying to help continue make A Good Yarn be a vibrant place for knitters and crocheters and crafters of all type, to fiber crafters of all type, to meet up is, one, if you're on Facebook, you should visit the A Good Yarn Facebook page. Every Wednesday at noon, I get to go in and play with yarn and show everybody what's new in the store, and it's super fun. It's me live. It's kind of like these videos, only with no editing, if you can imagine that. It's a little crazy, a little nutty, but also I have been teaching classes via Zoom. I have been doing it for a month, a little over a month now, and I didn't really want to mention it on my channel until I felt I had a better handle on how it was going to work, because it is very different than teaching in person. I never really realized exactly how much I read people's body language. When I'm teaching, I can tell by the set of shoulders and things if someone is struggling with something. So I'm working on, in the Zoom context, making sure I'm getting feedback. But it's been super fun, and I'm getting to continue to teach which I love. But it's a real plus that it opens it up to people who have, maybe would never actually manage to get to a place where I am teaching live. And obviously nobody's traveling anywhere to teach live right now. So I'm teaching these classes through A Good Yarn. Yes, of course, I get a teacher fee, but also it's part of A Good Yarn. It's part of what they offer. So that is also supporting them. So I am teaching classes. Is the end result of all that babbling. I am teaching 1-hour classes every Tuesday from 4 to 5 Eastern Standard Time. And we decided to go with these 10-hour classes. They're very affordable. They're $10 a class. And they're very manageable mentally. Not all of us have a lot of extra brain power right now to wrap our brains around really complex things. So I'm sticking to fun and what I find interesting, essential, but things that I can teach in an hour. The classes that are coming up this coming month start next week on August 4th. I am teaching beginning cables technique. And it is really an introduction to cabling techniques. If you've always wanted to do cables, but weren't 100% sure about even how to approach it, that is what this class is for. I'm going to talk about how to read like the instructions, what the abbreviations mean and what the chart symbols mean, and then your basic techniques on how to execute cables. So you're ready to attack your first cable project. We're not going to go in depth. We're not going to go into complicated things. You're not going to come out of this class knowing everything about cables. It is simply to get you started and get you confident to do that first cable project. Then on August 11th, I'm going to do the same thing with lace. It's going to be a beginning lace techniques class. Again, we're going to talk about abbreviations. In written patterns, we're going to talk about the symbols on charts, and then we're going to work through on swatches some techniques, so yarn overs and decreases and a little bit of theory on lace on how things work. Again, it's only an hour. It's very doable mentally. Then the August 18th, I'm going to be teaching, and this is one I've taught before, and it went really well, Mosaic Knitting 101. You've probably watched my videos on Mosaic Knitting. This is an opportunity where it's going to be live. And how this works is it's Zoom. We use Zoom. And so I got y'all in the Brady Bunch on the screen, but also, and you'll have me on the screen, but also I've got this jobby right here. And what this is, it's a little bendy thing that I mount my phone into and point it at my hands. So I'm actually in every meeting twice. I'm in the meeting as the host and you can see my face, but also I'm in the meeting as just my hands. So you can see close up on my hands. So if you've ever watched any of my videos and been like, oh, I would love to ask her to do that again or do it slightly differently, this is your opportunity because it's live and you can talk to me and we can have the back and forth that is sometimes missing in these videos. I mean, I love making these videos, but it's a different thing. It's an in-between between being live and watching a video. I can't put my hands on your hands. And sometimes in teaching knitting, putting my hands on your hands is really the only way to make something click, but we get as close as we can with the video. The Mosaic Knitting is knitting stripes and slipping stitches to make beautiful color work. I have a lot of mosaic patterns and we're getting ready to do a mosaic knit along through the store. So that is going to be fun. And this is sort of a prep class for that. So that might be a good one for you to sign up for. And then on August 25th, I'm going to be teaching Chart Reading 201. What this is a follow-up. I did Chart Reading 101, which was entirely lecture style, and this is going to be a hands-on of applying what people learned in 101. If there's more interest, I can teach Lace 101 again, and I will put a list in the description below of the classes I have taught previously. And if y'all are interested in me talking to Susan about getting them on the schedule again, we can do that. We definitely, I've been writing these and taking notes and making handouts and having it set up so that I can teach these classes again for people who might have missed them or people who want a refresher. And then there's one more class I want to mention, and this is not the Tuesday night class. I am also going to be teaching a 2-hour class on Saturday, August 29th from 10 to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is my blocking class. It is not quite the full 3-hour blocking class because that involves hands-on elements, but I've condensed most of it into this 2-hour class. It takes a little bit more brain power, and it is entirely a lecture class. There's no hands-on part to it because there's really no way for me to do that in this kind of format, but it's my blocking class. And let me tell you, my blocking class is one of my favorite classes that I teach because I think I challenge people to think about things that maybe they haven't considered. And I talk about, yes, the how, the nitty-gritty of how to block, but that is actually only a small portion of the class. A large chunk of the class is talking about understanding yarn and understanding yarn fibers and how different fibers react to blocking and how to make sure that the yarn you're selecting is going to work in the pattern that you're trying to pair it with. Or if you're starting with a pattern, how to evaluate yarns and decide which ones are going to work in that pattern and which ones might not, because blocking is very essential to the success of your product, and how that fiber and that yarn reacts to blocking and whether or not it's going to work in the pattern you've selected is a big part, and it's something you got to think about from the get-go when you're planning your project. So that's my little blocking spiel. I know the idea of taking a blocking class might not have occurred to any, if all of you, but it's one that I love deeply. So those are the classes I wanted to talk to y'all about. I know normally I'm much more instructional, but this is an opportunity for me to reach out to you and actually talk to and maybe, face to face with some of y'all. And I thought it would be fun to mention here. Now, the system that you make the Zoom reservations and stuff, as I said, is on the A Good Yarn website. And so I have made a little demo to show you how to use the reservation system, because there are a couple little, like with any technology, there's a couple little hinky bits to it that might not be instantly instinctual. So I made this little recording so that you could know how to do it. Here we go. Here is the website, agoodyarnsarasota.com. It's got all kinds of amazing stuff on it and all these drop downs, but the easiest way to get where we want to go is to scroll down to the bottom, past all the fun stuff that you're going to want to look at later, to choosing an appointment. So the category we want is classes. And then you can see all the different classes that are available. This is my Block Like a Pro. It's a 2-hour class and it's got the description there. And then we've got beginning cables, beginning lace, mosaic knitting, and Chart Reading 201, which is a follow-up to an earlier class I taught. And so let's just choose Block Like a Pro. So you click on it and see how it shifts. Your quantity that you're getting is 1, unless you're buying one for like yourself and your friend, I guess. I don't know. I think maybe it'd be better if you both signed up for it. Then it gets a little confusing here. What you need to do is set your time zone, because you can take this class from anywhere you want, but we need to know what time zone you're in so we can send you the appropriate reminder. So I'm in Eastern Standard Time, so I'm going to click Set Time Zone. Once I'm done that, If it is a recurring class, you might have multiple dates to choose from. This is simply a one-time class. Then you have to click on the class and it says, okay, there are some spots left. It starts at 10 a.m. You hit continue. And then what you're going to have to do is fill out your name and information and pay for it. I'm not going to do that because, well, I don't want to reserve a spot that someone might have, and I don't want you to see me typing in my information. But from here on out, it's fairly straightforward. You just fill out your information, pay now, and then you'll get a confirmation. You have to provide an email because the email is where your link to join the Zoom will come. There we go. Just to take a look back at here. So if we do classes again, now I know that this class, I just want to see what's going to happen, is a 2-part class. And so look, see, it has 2 here. You don't have to pick from it. You just continue. Again, classes. If you want to take the cable class, you'd click on it. You have to set your time zone and then you proceed. You can see it only has the 1 date. There, continue. So it's fairly self-explanatory, but I wanted to walk you all through it just to make sure you could see how to do it. Okay? Okay. I hope that made things a little more clear if you had tried to use the site before and were like, I don't know what's going on. But the end, I hit this thing. It normally isn't right there. I normally keep it out of the way. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I know it's a little away from my standard ones, but really I feel very deeply that it is important for us to support our local yarn stores and just to support each other with all that's going on in the world right now. Supporting your local businesses, period. If you aren't in a position to take classes, if you're not in a position to buy something online, and this is something I've mentioned before, if there is a product you particularly like or a store you really know, social media them. If you're on Facebook, post something about how much you like a restaurant that you used to go to. Share it to your local group. Go on and put a review on their Facebook page. Put a review on their Yelp. Do positive things to try to support them. If you're on Instagram, share pictures of yarn that you've gotten and tag the store that you got it from if they have a Instagram account so that other knitters and fiber artists see what you have and maybe they'll see if they can get it from either your store that's dear to your heart or check with their local store and see if their local store has that. It's just word of mouth means a lot more, I think, than any of us realize. And simply clicking likes and sharing posts and tagging people in pictures helps keep these stores and these small businesses in people's minds. And maybe when they do have the opportunity to do or purchase something because it was fresh in their mind, they might support your local yarn store. And every little bit helps right now. And so many times when I have talked about classes that I'm going to teach, people are like, oh, I wish you'd come near me. Well, I'm near you now because with the internet, we're all near each other. So if you want to come and take one of my classes that I am offering through A Good Yarn, I would love to have you and virtually meet you. So if you like this video, please give it the thumbs up, click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.